Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching another episode of Crypto Keeper. This episode is going over what is blockchain. Now, I didn't make this chart, I didn't write this information on this website. This is from Binance Academy. Okay, so let's start right here. What is blockchain? Um, don't be spooked by the technobabble that people use to describe a blockchain. A blockchain is just a database. It isn't a particularly sophisticated one either. You could create it in a spreadsheet with minimal effort, and that's it. Since each fingerprint points to the last one, you'll end up with a chain of blocks, or as the cool kids call it. Now, when they're talking about a fingerprint, they're talking about hash. Okay. What is hashing? Hashing refers to the process of generating a fixed size output from an input of a variable size. This is done through the use of mathematical formulas known as hash functions, implemented as hashing algorithms. Although not all hash functions involve the use of cryptography, the so-called cryptographic hash functions are at the core of cryptocurrencies. Thanks to them, blockchains and other distributed systems are able to achieve significant levels of data integrity and security. Both conventional and cryptographic hash functions are deterministic. Being deterministic means that as long as the input doesn't change, the hashing algorithm will always produce the same output, also known as digest or hash. Typically, the hashing algorithms of cryptocurrencies are designed as one-way functions, meaning they cannot be easily reverted without large amounts of computing and time resources. In other words, it is quite easy to create the output from the input, but relatively difficult to go in the opposite direction to generate the input from the output alone. Generally speaking, the more difficult it is to find the input, the more secure the hashing algorithm is considered to be. And let's get back to where we were. And that's it. Since each fingerprint or hash points back to the last one, you end up with a chain of blocks, or as the cool kids like to call it, a blockchain. Is that it? Underwhelmed? That's fair. The innovation here isn't some cumbersome alternative to Google Sheets. It's that everyone can download blocks from other people on the network to build identical copies of the blockchain on their computer. That's what the software we mentioned earlier does. Suppose that you and your friends, Alice, Bob, Carol, and Dan, are running the software. You might, say, I want to send 5 coins to Bob. So you send that instruction to everyone else, but the coins aren't sent to Bob immediately. Carol might decide it's the same time to send Alice 5 coins. She also sends her instruction out to the network. And now at any time, a participant can gather up the pending instructions to create a block. If anyone can make a block, what stops them from cheating? It probably seems very attractive to you to create the block that says Bob pays me 1,000,000 coins, or to start buying Lamborghinis and fur coats from Carol by making transactions with funds you don't own. Consensus algorithm. We'll go over that. Free blockchain knowledge. We're going to go over this on a later video. Did you know all that already, or you want to learn to trade and invest? Let's get into that next. Let's just skip that. But let's do touch on consensus algorithm real quick. What is a blockchain consensus algorithm? A consensus algorithm is a mechanism that allows users or machines to coordinate in a distributed setting. It needs to ensure that all agents in the system can agree on a single source of truth. Even if some agents fail, in other words, period. In other words, system must be fault tolerant. In a centralized setup, a single entity has a power over the system. In most cases, they can make changes as they please. There isn't some complex governance system for reaching consensus amongst many administrators, but in a decentralized setup, it's a whole other story. Say we're working with a distributed database. How do we reach an agreement on what entries get added? Overcoming this challenge in an environment where strangers don't trust each other was perhaps the most crucial development, paving the way for blockchains. In this article, we'll take a look at how consensus algorithms are vital to the functioning of cryptocurrencies as distributed ledgers. Okay, now we're going to go over this in a later video. Thank you for watching today, and have a great day.